Should you buy Call of Duty World War II? World War II is broken up into the trifecta most certainly expected by COD fans: campaign, multiplayer, zombies. The single-player campaign is the best part about Call of Duty World War II. In this story, you play as Ronald Daniels, also known as Red, an American soldier thrust into the middle of, well, World War II. He is joined throughout the campaign by 3 squad mates: Zeusman, a medic, Turner, his commanding officer, and Pearson, who is kind of an asshole actually at first. Each squad mate has a very unique personality that grows throughout the story, and I felt like they were really well fleshed out by the end of the 6-hour campaign. Without giving anything away, there are actually some really good moments of character development, loss, sadness, humor, and growth to the characters. It's with the new assist system that the characters really start to grow on you. By pointing your cursor at one of your buddies, you can ask them for medical supplies, ammunition, or enemy spotting. It's a pretty cool feature, as Zeusman will toss out a pouch of meds or Turner a box of ammunition when you ask it of them. It's a small touch that leads to a sense of camaraderie and attachment, as you will be using the system quite a bit. That is because Call of Duty World War II is most of the time extremely fast and demanding. The Germans will come at you relentlessly during the campaign. It is here that you will discover if the new COD campaign is really for you. Each level in World War II is basically a series of scripted events. The first mission, D-Day, has you of course taking the beach and then clearing out bunkers. In another mission, you'll be infiltrating a European city, pushing back the Germans, clearing out a church tower, and then of course escaping it when it gets blown to smithereens. The set pieces that accompany each section are honestly some of the best in the series. The sense of wow in this game is real, ironically in spite of its very personal style story. World War II is the Michael Bay of Call of Duty. You will rampage through hundreds and hundreds of enemies every single level, explosions will crash down all around you, buildings will come piling down, grenades will send handfuls of Germans to the graveyard. It's just chaotic, and it's all in your face all the time. It's here, of course, that the dissonance of many popcorn action games rears its ugly head. In his first combat experience ever, Daniels lands on the beach of Normandy and slaughters, of course, dozens and dozens and dozens of Germans with laser precision accuracy. It feels a bit silly, to be honest. But they have tried to combat this by making you stop to witness limbs blown off and the horrors of battle portrayed visually and through the game's many cutscenes. The characters do get affected, they do talk about it, and it does mean something to them. And in this regard, I can appreciate that. Following suit, the game also punishes you for going out in the open, as you'll be sprayed to death within seconds. Not just to combat the notion that you're not a superhero, but also because Call of Duty wants you to play by its book, to go where it wants you to go, and keep you on a leash to make sure you see all of its explosions, the pretty skyscapes, and experience each level the way they have built it for you. Yes, it's constraining, as all COD games are, but it's an exciting tether that is highly curated, full of action, set pieces, and just plain fun. Yeah, it was cheesy and predictable, but I loved the Call of Duty World War II campaign. Now, as far as the multiplayer goes, changes are here. The new face for COD multiplayer is the headquarters. I know, it looks kinda weird at first. The HQ will be your hub, where you'll gather missions called orders to gain special goodies, such as getting 10 sniper headshots to receive a supply drop. You can hold up to 3 daily orders and 3 weekly orders to be completed by, of course, those dates. Now, of course, since you're in the military, you're also on payroll and can collect wages from the mailbox every so often to spend on more supply drops. There are also contracts to be picked up from this very sexy lieutenant, where you can exchange credits for the chance to earn special rewards on the clock, such as getting 5 headshots in 20 minutes to get 1500 EXP. You can also challenge players to duels and spectate other people opening loot crates. There's just a bunch of stuff to do here. It's going to take a bit to get acclimated to, and the third-person perspective might give you some Destiny vibes, but it's a fairly cool, albeit wonky, distraction in between matches, the HQ anyway. But before you even get to the HQ, you're going to have to pledge yourself to a division, which is something new as well. Each of the 5 divisions will give you access to special perks, such as getting a special shotgun round if you join the Expeditionary Force. And the more you play for a specific division, the more rewards you'll get for pimping out that character of yours. When you finally get into a match, all of this kind of goes out of the window though, and it's time to get back to the original Call of Duty multiplayer. While there are new modes like War, which have been added to echo, Rush from Battlefield, it still plays like any other original Call of Duty multiplayer game. Time to kill is low, recoil is super low, death is ever present, and kill streaks are here once again. The unfortunate part about my experience with the multiplayer was the level design. While lifelike in their depictions of history and architecture, the new COD maps are simply square boxes with corridors and predefined choke points. The sniper nests have been carved out for you. You'll always know where to look and where to be with any given class. It's of course a setup that caters to the masses and esports, where levels are levels and not locations. Each map is incredibly predefined and small in scope, as to be expected. It often leads to a very predictable routine. Spawn, run through some corridors, die, spawn again, and repeat. It's a formula that we've all seen before. While the new objective-based modes have been added to spice things up, the maps really don't service them very well, nor are there many in the first place. But I'm a Battlefield fan, so if you like the very tightly focused COD multiplayer experience, you will like this game as well. Don't let me persuade you otherwise. The progression is addicting, the social hub is a great addition, and the action is as fast-paced as it's ever been. I had my most fun playing this game with the campaign and of course zombies. Zombies is once again incredibly fun and chaotic. You'll be running around shooting progressively harder and faster zombies, grabbing new weapons, armor and gear, unlocking new parts of the map, figuring out small puzzles to power certain things. It's just a blast. Power-ups of course are here, giving you bonuses like one-shot kill rounds, unlimited ammo, and my favorite, the personal nuke that explodes around you. That thing saved me on more than one occasion. Love it. So should you buy Call of Duty World War II? You should if you know you're gonna like the multiplayer component. If not, you should be waiting for a sale, as the 6-hour campaign is great fun, but it's not worth $60. The last thing I want to mention, guys, is that I had no performance issues whatsoever. The game ran like a dream on my system, but there are quite a few negative reviews on Steam claiming that the game is freezing, claiming that there are some hitching problems with the frame rate, so make sure you check it out and look at the system specs for those particular reviews to make sure you're not going to buy into a game that's not going to work properly on your system. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Let me know down below your comments regarding Call of Duty World War II. I was surprisingly delighted by this new COD game, at least the campaign. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you on our next video.